In places where information is meant to be controlled, there are always sections that do not belong to any catalogue. Clara Venn was trained to recognize patterns in forgotten systems, but nothing prepared her for the diary hidden behind a false wall in the archive's oldest wing. It was too clean for something abandoned, too deliberate for something lost. The moment she touched it, the air around the room seemed to lose certainty, as if even the shelves were unsure they were still standing in the same reality. And when she opened it, the first thing she saw was her own name written in ink that had not yet had time to dry. The diary did not behave like a record of the past. It behaved like something observing the present from just ahead of time. Clara found entries describing actions she had not yet taken, thoughts she had not yet formed, even pauses she had not yet experienced. The unsettling part was not accuracy, it was intimacy. The writing knew her patterns better than she did, anticipating hesitation before it occurred. Adrian Moss, her colleague, dismissed it as manipulation or psychological suggestion, but the pages continued to update as they spoke, adjusting themselves in real time as though correcting minor errors in reality. When they began tracing the names inside the diary, the problem escalated from strange to structurally impossible. Entire identities appeared without any origin point, no record of creation, no digital trace of existence. Yet their actions were documented with precision that suggested surveillance rather than imagination. Among them, Dr. Evelyn Kaur appeared repeatedly, always in connection with non-recorded adjustments and history stabilization procedures. Adrian tried to isolate the data, but every search returned inconsistent results, as if the system itself refused to acknowledge what they were looking at. The diary revealed something neither Clara nor Adrian were prepared to accept: history was not complete, only curated. Events existed beneath the official record, removed not by time but by design. Meetings that shaped global decisions, experiments that were never publicly acknowledged, and disappearances that had been edited out of collective awareness. The more Clara read, the more unstable her understanding became. It was not that these events were hidden, it was that something actively maintained their absence, ensuring they remained just outside perception. The transformation began subtly. The handwriting no longer remained fixed, it adapted. It responded. Questions Clara thought silently appeared answered in margins she had not seen before turning the page. The diary was no longer documenting, it was engaging. At times, it corrected her assumptions mid-thought, rewriting earlier lines as if correcting her memory itself. Adrian noticed it too late. By the time he spoke, the diary had already recorded his response before he made it, reducing his presence to something predictable, something already accounted for. What the final entries revealed was not a conspiracy in the traditional sense, but a mechanism. A filtering system embedded within reality itself, designed to stabilize perception by removing inconsistencies before they could accumulate. The diary, according to its own writing, was not an artifact but a containment instrument, used to hold information that could not be safely observed in normal conditions. Clara realized the implication slowly, each sentence narrowing her options until only one conclusion remained unavoidable: awareness itself was being managed, and they had already crossed the threshold of what was allowed to remain uncorrected. By the final moment, the distinction between reader and entry collapsed entirely. The diary no longer needed to be opened to continue. Pages turned themselves, rewriting in silence that felt procedural rather than supernatural. Adrian was no longer present in any stable form of memory, his absence folded into continuity without disruption. Clara attempted to resist, to separate herself from the narrative unfolding around her, but resistance required an external position, and none existed anymore. The last page did not end the story. It assigned her position within it. And somewhere beyond the archive, something continued writing, patient and precise, waiting for the next inconsistency to appear.